Let's talk about the recently released Premier League fixtures. You know that the Premier League fixtures for next season have already been released. And a lot of clubs, there is a lot of reaction going on with different clubs about their first, fixtures, especially in the month of August. Let's start with Chelsea. Chelsea will be playing Crystal Palace at home, playing West Ham, and then Fulham in August. To be honest, if you look at this, Chelsea are very, very, very lucky because these fixtures are very kind. Even though in this game I'm seeing Chelsea facing three London clubs, meaning that this is a London derby. And the London derby, is always full of fight, full of aggression. Crystal Palace will try to make it hard for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. The good news is that Chelsea are opening their campaign at Stamford Bridge, but we know that in the season that just finished, Stamford Bridge was not the best of place for Chelsea, especially at the beginning. At the ending, they started winning games at Stamford Bridge. This game, Chelsea should be able to get at least maximum of 9 points from these 3 games. For Manchester United, the fixtures are not really easy. Remember, before I go on, this is Manchester United new away kit for next season. If you need the top quality, like top design, well fitted on the body, just come into my DM. I sell all kind of jerseys: Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man U, PSG, Juventus, Inter Milan, Inter Miami, any club you're looking for, slide into my DM. I sell football jerseys and quality, and then you have the opportunity to have Champions League badge, Premier League badge, or whatever, and top customization. So going into Manchester United game, you look at it. Manchester United will be facing Arsenal in the first game of the Premier League. This is the biggest game in the first of the Premier League. And then Manchester United will be facing Arsenal at home, playing Fulham, Burnley. And then in September, Manchester City and Chelsea back to back. So in the first 6 games of Manchester United, they will be facing Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester City. And that is crazy. If you look at it, that's the first game that they are going to be facing Arsenal. And then at home, Ruben Amorim will be looking forward for Manchester United to start very well, because winning against Arsenal will give them an edge or momentum, or give them something that will propel them to start going forward. But losing at home against Arsenal will be a disastrous one. And Liverpool will have one of the fair fixtures coming into the Premier League for the season. Liverpool will start the official Premier League first game of next season against Bournemouth, I think on Friday. After Bournemouth, they play Newcastle, they play Arsenal, they play Burnley, they play Everton. If you look into this fixture list, Newcastle is going to be a strong one for Liverpool. Then Arsenal, the third game of Liverpool is Arsenal at home. It's going to be an interesting one. Just imagine. And then Burnley away and Everton, Merseyside derby. Everton will be moving into their new stadium. So it's going to be an interesting one. Liverpool, we say the games, I think, okay, Bournemouth, after Bournemouth and Burnley, every other team here is very difficult. But let's see what is going to happen, in the Premier League next season. For Manchester City will be starting their season against Wolves away. And then after Wolves, they play Tottenham Hotspur at home. We already know that Thomas Frank will be taking charge of Tottenham Hotspur and play Brighton away. And then Manchester United at home and Arsenal away. Like in the first 5 games of Manchester City, they will meet Tottenham, Manchester United, and Arsenal. Like, these fixtures are too strong. Why is it that in the Premier League, these top fixtures easily come so early? Why? But then Manchester City will like to start next season very, very well on the front foot. Wolves is a winnable game. Tottenham gives Manchester City trouble. And Brighton, they also give Manchester City trouble. And Manchester United and Arsenal, it's a strong start for Manchester City. But let's see how they can be able to deal with the challenges. The team that caught my attention the most is Burnley. Burnley are in a hot soup. They are just returning back to the Premier League. Look at the fixtures. Tottenham away. Sunderland at home. Manchester United away. Liverpool home, Nottingham Forest home, Manchester City away. Like, how can you give this? This is criminal. How can you give a team that is just coming up from the Premier League their first 6 games is only Sunderland, that is a smaller team that they are meeting. They are meeting the big boys in their first 5 games, and this can start a spiral effect of them losing drastically, because when you lose these 6 games, your momentum have taken a huge hit. Your feeling, your energy have taken a huge hit. But let's see how the coach, is going to be able to take care of this game, because Burnley is always coming to the Premier League and going back. I hope they survive this time around. So then, on general, on the first day of the Premier League, the fixtures are Liverpool versus Bournemouth. I think Liverpool should win this one. Aston Villa versus Newcastle. This one is going to be an interesting one. Both teams is going to score. You can't predict. Both of them are almost close matched. And then Brighton versus Fulham, another difficult, tricky game. Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. How will Brentford do next season without Thomas Frank. How will Nottingham Forest fare next season? Because this season they played very well. Next season, can they be able to replicate that? Sunderland versus West Ham. West Ham should be able to win this one. Tottenham versus Burnley. Tottenham should be able to win this one. Wolves versus Manchester City. Manchester City should be able to win this one. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. This is a London derby. You know, Crystal Palace will be looking forward to getting a draw against Chelsea. Chelsea should be able to win this one. Manchester United versus Arsenal. Hey, what will be the prediction? Arsenal are the favorite to play in this game, but with the signing Manchester United are making, and it's been very, very difficult for Arsenal to defeat Manchester United at Old Trafford. I think throughout Arteta's era, I think they've done it one or twice. It's so hard. So that is why I'm looking forward that this game could end in draw. But then let's see what is going to happen. So these are the things that are happening with the fixtures. Let me know what you think in the comment section and let's go.